What is up, Boilermaker Nation? Another win for the Boilers in the March Madness run, round of 32, taking home a victory against the Miami Hurricanes. Not in the fashion that I would have liked to see. Ultimately come away with a win, but not in the way that I wish it would have happened. Little closer than I wanted it to, a little sloppy. But we'll go through it all. In the preview, I stated that Malik Renew and Trey Donaldson were their guys, that they are the ones that make them go, right? They are also two players that this senior class has seen before. Renew being 3 years playing at Indiana, and Trey Donaldson coming from Michigan. So players that we had seen before. Renew, 16 points, 6 of 15, 0 for 3 behind the arc, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 7 turnovers. He did have 4 steals and a block. You look at Renew's game, ends with 16 points. For a while, in the second half, I thought he started to do his own little thing, and he started to go off, and I was like, oh no, this could become something, because there was a few possessions in a row where he just scored. But ultimately, the guy for Miami ended up being Henderson. He was phenomenal in this game. 18 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. He does have 2 turnovers, but he has 2 steals as well. We really didn't have an answer for him. I know, we've played guys that they've popped off for more than 18, but he was a problem all game for us. He's athletic. He crashed the boards, came in, grabbed rebounds. A lot of it we were standing, just not being in the right spot, or just not playing aggressive on the rebound, and he would come in and wipe it up. He's the second highest leading rebound in this game total, only behind Trey with 9. But yeah, we did not have a answer for Henderson. And I do believe he's a freshman. Let me fact check myself. Yeah, he's a freshman. I thought he just had a tremendous game, and we quite frankly did not have an answer for him. Trey Donaldson, on the other hand, did not have a game. 4 of 15, 2 for 6 behind the arc, 3 for 4 from the line. He does have 3 assists in this game, 0 turnovers. But, when the game started, he hit 2 good shots right off the bat, and I was a little worried. I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit concerned when that happened. Ultimately, he ended up cooling off and not having as good of a game, but we came out to a very slow start, something that I said that we shouldn't do. We need to come out with a hot start and just steamroll the rest of the game. We did not do that at all in this game. Ultimately, 2 guys kept us in this game. I guess we can say 3. Fletch, Trey, and a good game from CJ too in the 18 minutes that he played. CJ obviously leaves this game with an injury, but in the 18 minutes he gave us, it was a great 18 minutes. 11 points, 4 for 5. He's 3 for 4 behind the arc. 1 rebound, 1 assist, 0 turnovers. Defensively, I thought he was doing, what CJ does. But then offensively as well, going into that right before halftime, it's it's close to a 10-point deficit, I think, and CJ goes on a run and hits 2 threes by himself. I mean, in the last 4 minutes, CJ has 8 of his 11 points. Something notably to say because he gets hurt right before halftime. 18. No, he didn't get hit. No, that's wrong. That's wrong, right? He didn't get hurt before halftime. No, that's wrong. Sorry. But most of his. Let me see. Click. Oh my gosh. Anyways, CJ goes down. Jakari has to step up. And how many minutes did he? Jakari has 18 minutes. 5 points. He makes his only shot attempt. Hits 2 free throws. Okay, CJ goes down 3 minutes into the first half or second half. So you think about that. You play 20-minute halves. Out of 23 minutes, he plays 18. That's a very high usage for how they have been playing CJ beforehand. And look at the production that we get. 11 points. He only misses one shot. Obviously, there's going to be games where he misses more than that. I think the rest of this tournament, maybe not against Texas, but that's what we need to see from the staff. CJ needs to play. Like, we are better with him on the floor. You look at our bench this game, zeros. Besides Jakari, zeros across the board. We get 3 rebounds combined between Omar, Jack, and Jakari, right? Credit to Jakari this game. He comes in, he hits a big 3. He gets to the line, makes both free throws. I thought he did a great job defensively. He also comes away with 2 steals and that big block. I mean, Jakari came in and had a solid Jakari game. Like, he came in and did what he's supposed to do. I can't lie and say when he came in I was a little worried. Because he has been known to be inconsistent on offense. He's done a fairly good job holding himself on defense most of this year. But, he's had times where, it looks rough. But ultimately, he held his own. But in my opinion, I think this whole split minutes with CJ needs to be playing. If he finished the game, like if he never got injured, he's on pace to play the same amount of minutes as Braden, 38 minutes. I'm not saying that we play CJ 38 minutes, but I'm saying that he needs 30 or 28. I think we're much better with CJ on the floor. He's a great defender. He's proven that time and time again. And offensively, he's, he can knock down an open shot. He can also go and get himself one. I like CJ on the floor. A plus, an A game from Trey. 19 points. 8 for 16. There were some shots where I thought, those are Trey's shots that didn't go down. And, he's got a lot of times when he shoots the ball, you just expect it to go in. They didn't all go down, whatever. But it's still a good game for him. He even goes 3 for 3 from the line. Pulls down 9 rebounds. 9 is a good number for him. And I still think that, there was opportunity to have more than that. And I think, walking away from that game, he probably would have said the same thing. There's definitely more times where, him and Clough both should have came down with rebounds, and the rest of the team as well. We get out rebounded in this game, 33-25. that's closer than what I would have thought about it watching the game. We just did not box out enough. Um, Clough had 7, Trey had 9, so both of them a solid game. But I think they both could have stepped up even more so. But um, the team around us didn't help. Like, other guys didn't step up to rebound the ball and help out in that aspect. Um, big 2 takeaways from this game. I'm gonna hit on the negative first. Braden has 8 turnovers. That's not what we're looking for. That's not a typical Braden game. That's not what we're used to seeing. He does go 6 for 6 from the line. But coming from a Queens game where he comes out with 24, 26, and shoot, let me just pull that up. Coming from a game where he just went off offensively and then turns around and gives us a performance that he just did, you're expecting more than that from him. 26 points to 8 assists against Queens on 10 of 15 shooting, right? And he goes 4 for 6 behind the arc. Going into that game, right, he had been struggling shooting the ball. So I would have thought coming out of that Queens game, oh, good, Braden's back on a roll. He's got this thing going. Well, comes out with a dud of a game where he does have 8 assists, but 8 turnovers, 2 rebounds, and a 3 for 12 performance where he goes 0 for behind the arc again. I just thought, Braden. I thought a lot of them were self-induced too. I didn't think like they were up in us enough for Braden to be turning the ball over the way he did. I thought a lot of them were just stupid passes and telegraphing where the ball was going to go. So definitely a bounce back opportunity for him in this game against Texas. But if you want to look at something, Braden if I can get this pulled up here, in his career, when he goes shucks. Wow, I can't get pulled up fast enough. I'm going to rattle off from the top of the dome. Last year, right, against McNeese, he has a career high of 8 turnovers in the tournament, followed with a game against a very skilled defense in Houston, where Houston was a team that forces turnovers. I think they were if they weren't first, they were top 2 for turnovers forced, and yeah, he turns around and has 15. So, I'm not expecting another game. We didn't expect a game like that from him to begin with. I'm not expecting something like that to happen again. I believe he's fine. I think he's going to bounce back. We've seen him bounce back. Just an uncanny game from Braden. I didn't think like they were playing some crazy defense on him. I just thought he had a self-inflicted turnover problem. And I think he figures it out against Texas. But, Clough, 8 points, 3 for 4. I thought we could have fed him more, and he could have went and scored more. In the opportunities he's given, obviously, he capitalized. He did what he's supposed to do. Defensively, I thought he did a good job. Both him and Trey did a good job. I will say that foul that they called on Clough was atrocious. Like that, there's no way that was a foul. There was no contact made. It was crazy. Had me questioning what was going on, but whatever. Boilers came away with the dub, so that's all that matters. Um, but yeah, back to our bench. A complete offer besides Jakari's 5 points and a rebound from Omer and Jack and Jakari. Just this bench was said to going to be one of the most productive, and part of the reason we were supposed to be so good this year is because our bench was going to be so good. And in the last few games, they have just not, like, the last month, they have not shown up and been what we needed them to be, in hopes that, they turn around these next few games, and we need them to turn around to keep playing. And if you look at other games and Braden has a performance like this, you expect that we lost. And the reason we didn't lose, Fletcher Lawyer goes for 24 on 7 shot attempts, missing 1, going perfect from behind the arc with 4 for 4, getting to the line, hitting all 8 free throws. It is a typical Lawyer stat line where all he did was score. He tacks on 2 assists and a rebound and a steal to add on to that. But what a performance from Fletch. And I said in the preview, Fletcher is what makes this team go. We are more deadly when Fletcher can shoot the ball. And the more attempts Fletcher gets, I think the better for this team. Ultimately a sloppy performance. Not from Fletcher, though. Or Trey, in my opinion, obviously had more than he could have put up. But good games from Trey, Oscar, CJ, and Fletch. And the rest of our guys got to step it up. Jakari also did a great job when he came in. But overall, sloppy game. It's got to be better than that for us to continue to advance. Kudos to Miami. They put up a fight. And, good on Malik and Trey, as both of them are graduating and will be moving on now. But, I think this, they led Miami to a season that, last year, I think the team won like 7 games, and they turn around and win 26 games this season. So, and they were led by those 2 guys. So good for them, and both of their press conferences afterwards were emotional press conference saying how much this team meant to them and what Miami has done for them. So, it's good for guys like that. They deserve that, and that's coming for a Boilermaker talking about a ex Hoosier, but guys like that deserve good chances and good coaches. And Malik got not forced out, but dealt a bad hand with Mike Woodson, and I think ultimately he would have loved to be a Hoosier for 4 years, but it is what it is. And I just think Miami's in a good place with their coach in Lucas, and I just think good for those guys. Kudos to them on solid college careers, and best of luck to them in their next chapter of their careers, whether it be basketball or whatever it be. But to wrap it up, sloppy performance from the Boilermakers. As a team, some good, individual performances. Sloppy, saying the fact that we have 12 turnovers and most of them being from Braden. So ultimately, as a team, they played well. Braden really had to step it up, and he just gave us a sloppy performance, not one that you expect to see again. So that's all I got. I will get this Texas video made, but overall, it doesn't matter. We're still dancing, right? Obviously, it wasn't as pretty as I'd like it to be, or as anybody would like it to be, but we got it done, and that's all that matters. So, as I always say, go Boilers!